if you read some of the stuff this guy wrote, um, it's completely possible that this gold revaluation situation actually happens. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but um, it looks like every step of the way, everything is pointing to that direction, right? So it might happen, it might not happen. If it doesn't happen, if the US Treasury doesn't revalue physical gold, the market and the rest of the world will do it anyway.
Friday, August 8th, 2025, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it seems like every day or every hour something new pops up, and our plans are like disrupted by what's going on in the US vis-a-vis Trump and the tariffs. We weren't going to do this interview this morning, but last night, there's some big news about gold, Eric, and welcome to the channel first, Eric, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Mario.
Yeah, and I was actually going to post another interview I did yesterday, but that will come out later because I think what came out last night, and I'm going to bring up the story that was broken, I think by the FT. It says U.S. hits 1 kilo gold bars with tariffs in blow to refining hub Switzerland. Decision could upend the global bullion market, analysts say. So, not just the 1 kilo bars, Eric, also the 100-ounce gold bars that is basically the FT explains how there is a triangle in the gold market, London, New York, and Switzerland. That the 400-ounce bars in London are not the bars they like in New York, so they take it to Switzerland, refine it, and send it for Comex. Comex, of course, the article says here that kilo bars are popular on Comex, but also 100-ounce bars. I never realized that the kilo bars were important, but what that's doing, of course, it's putting a massive bid overnight on the Comex contracts, not just the December contract, Eric, but also the August spot contract. And we're actually making new highs. But the price, the London price or the international price, there's a little bit of a well, not a little bit, but a big discount. So I'll stop talking now and let you chime in with your opinion of what's going on and what could happen.
So I think, you know, first of all, if let's say Trump actually goes through with this and imposes the tariffs on these Swiss 1 kilo, 100 ounce gold bars, right? I think the immediate thing that is going to happen is that a lot less gold bars of these dimensions and weight are going to be leaving the US. Okay, so it's a two-way street, right? If you're tariffing these gold bars to such an extent, whatever is in the US already that meet these dimensions and weight are not going to leave the US. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Does that make any sense? Yeah.
Because if it leaves the U.S., it will have to come back at a certain point, and there will be a tariff on it. The other thing, I guess, we need to keep an eye on what Switzerland does because this is it's the biggest export that Switzerland has to the U.S. And in the year to June this year, I think they exported $86 billion worth of refined gold.
Okay, but I have an observation on that. Now, ask yourself this question, Mario. Which industry employs more people in Switzerland? The luxury watch business like Swiss watches like Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, etc., or the gold refinery business?
Well, definitely the watchmakers, and it's a much more value added. There's a lot more profit to be made, and I guess gold refining can be done anywhere.
Correct. So if I'm the Swiss government, I would put the luxury watch business in top priority. And the gold business, I mean, refinery for the US, like if the Americans don't want Swiss gold refineries or like gold that is refined in Switzerland, there are other customers like Russia, China, BRICS countries, etc. So that's you know where I'm looking at this.
Yeah, and there's no
Okay.
reason why
Yeah.
there's no reason why either, Eric, why U.S. refiners, and there are U.S. refiners, couldn't cast kilo bars and 100-ounce gold bars. Of course, right now it could be a little bit short notice, and with the contracts on Comex, I think they probably specify which bars they accept for the contracts. So, how do you think it's going to impact these markets right now, right off the bat, Eric? If I look here at the August gold on Comex, it's trading at like 34.31, 34.44 actually, while the international or London gold price is trading at 33.96. So there's like almost a $50 premium on the Comex spot contract. And even the December Comex right now, it's trading at 35.01. So more than $100. I think that spread between the spot London price and the December contract was around $40 prior to this announcement. And it's even made a new all-time high, Eric, at 35.34. So just wanted to let the viewers know where we are. And we are, the time is 8:15 a.m. London time on Friday. So I'll let you chime in what you think that's going to do to the price, international price, because right now, you and I, you in Hong Kong, I'm in London, we're not benefiting from this squeeze in the COMEX.
So my question is, what's going to happen to the short positions at the COMEX? I mean, we discussed this many times, Mario, right? And it's not only me saying it. This information comes from people like David Jensen, Robert Gottlieb, Daniel Gatti, guys who are in the industry, right? And they have been saying that whenever somebody or bullion banks, big players, etc., whenever they open these massive short positions at the COMEX, what they would do is they would long a promissory note at the LBMA, right, of the equivalent amount of gold and silver. So that works if the gold and silver are fungible, right? I mean, funny thing actually, Vince Lancy, you also know him as well, right? He wrote something to that effect today that with this new decree by Donald Trump, with the tariffs slapped on the 1 kilo and the 100-ounce gold gold bars from Switzerland, Swiss refiners. That means that the fungibility is gone, right? I mean, it's maybe not completely gone, like you said. They can bring in gold bars or unrefined gold, etc., and refine it in the US. But the immediate effect is that that easy path of immediate hedging using LBMA promissory notes is is disrupted. Okay, so let's look at the immediate effects, right? Like you said, there's a what, like the EFP spread is around 50, $60 and climbing right now. It's changing by the minute, right? So it might get up to, let's say, $100 by the end of today. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
So
could you explain exactly what the EFB spread is to those so some people might
okay.
know? Yeah.
Simply, it's the price differential between the Comex futures contract and the spot price at the LBMA. Okay. So there's a, like, that spread is growing. And that means that, all these players who hashed using this EFP mechanism, they are losing tons of money. Because, like I explained many times in the past, they make money when the COMEX price is lower than the LBMB price. Right now, the COMEX price is a lot higher than the LBMB price, so they're losing money. So normally they would take, if they do cash settlement, they lose big time, right? They lose the 50, 60, $100, whatever, right? That we are seeing right now. So in a normal environment, they would choose to get the physical gold from the LBMA. So instead of like paper settlement at the LBMA, they would actually stand for delivery at the LBMA and then transport the physical gold and silver to the COMEX, okay, to the US to do that EFP settlement. Because like I explained in the past many times, the EFP settlements can be cash or physical. So in this scenario, they would choose physical because they lose, or they might not even lose money, right? Like if they take the physical from the LBMA to the COMEX, right? Because physical bar of 100 ounces gold is 100 ounce gold, right? But if you just do paper settlement, then you have to look at the prices from these two different places, and then you settle. Okay, so now we have a dilemma where, let's say these players want to do the physical settlement, but then Trump slapped this tariff, 39%, correct? On the Swiss gold bars. So my first thought is that um, this is going to, they might be inventory at the LBMA that are not, tariff applicable. Okay, but those bars will be gone first, obviously, right? And then the rest would be like, um, they would be tariff applicable, which means that it won't make any economic sense at that point to take those gold bars and transport it to the US because they get tariffed 39%.
Is that the w w is the tariff really on those gold bars? I think it's applicable. Is it applicable to the product, or is it Switzerland? Because let's say they refine gold here in London to the specification that Comex likes, like a kilo and 100-ounce bar. Could, if they exported it from London to the U.S. or New York, would there be a tariff of 39%? It seems like that's more for Switzerland. What do you think?
If it doesn't go through Switzerland and they directly you know import the gold bars from London to um, to New York, right?
Yeah,
Then you don't get tariffed the 39%, correct?
yeah,
But then, I mean, what's the capacity like in New York? Are they
yeah.
able to uh, take on that many orders? So like my whole point is that the dislocation is going to get a lot worse, right? Assuming that, like I said, Donald Trump is for real on this.
So
And yes,
I guess what this is going to do is going to disrupt this EFP game on Comex and the LBMA, and I guess that will massively decrease the paper games in both markets. Is that the way you see it?
I think you're correct, Mario. I think that's probably the end game here, which is if they cannot um, viably, I use quotation marks, hedge their short positions at the COMEX via the LBMA in a timely manner, right? Because we're talking about time frames here. That, you know, short position will have to drastically decrease. And we shall see. But like, wouldn't that also decrease the number and the severity of the daily gold and silver slams? I mean, because when they do that, if they make sure that they can hedge it
That's
at the
right.
LBMA, right? So like
Yeah.
if there's this disruption, at least for the time being, a a somebody who's responsible, responsible player should think twice before they do that, right?
Right. No, that's right. And
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead. Continue.
So the whole situation here, I think Luke Groman wrote something on this. Uh, I guess earlier this year, he said that if the American government, the um, the U.S. Treasury, is to revalue U.S. Treasury physical gold at a higher price than the um, mark-to-market price, which is the current market price, right? Then the first thing the US government will have to do is to tariff physical gold, right? Because like you don't want is you revalue gold at a higher price, and then the entire world is shipping physical gold to you at the format that you accept at a super low price to try to get a higher price, right? Like
yeah,
their
yeah.
cost is low, but they try to get a higher price, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're getting the low price outside the U. Sorry. So can you go through that again? So,
Sorry, that was I delivered it not perfectly. Like what I mean is, let's say we're in that transition right now, right?
yeah,
So they revalue at a higher price, let's say $4,500. And the entire world, the rest of the world, like what we're seeing now, is still at, I don't know, 3,500, 3,600. So some parties may try to take advantage of the arbitrage, right? And pick up cheap gold outside of the US and then ship it to the US and try to make money from the US Treasury revaluation, right? But like if the Trump admin slap a 39% tariff on one of the major refineries, or like, Switzerland probably does more than half of all the gold refinery in the entire world, then you slow that process down significantly. You
yeah,
see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I see
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying. So yeah,
yeah.
they don't want the revaluation disrupted, so they stop people from doing the arbitrage. So, do you think this means that we could be closer to a revaluation? And yes, it will affect a lot the U.S. price, or they're using this to drive the price higher. But what would be the impact of the gold price outside the U.S. eventually? I would say would also go up, in my opinion.
I think so too, Mario. I think at the end of the day, central banks around the world accumulating physical gold, and if the US makes it more difficult for Swiss gold, these specific formats to be imported into the US, the path of least resistance is to ship the gold to maybe BRICS countries, right? So BRICS countries will absorb that gold, so to speak. So I think you're correct. Eventually, gold price outside of the US will come a lot closer to the new higher US price, right? So remember, we talked about this many times in the past, where the Shanghai Gold Exchange had a higher gold price, and then it kind of pulled up the Western gold price, right? Because of that arbitrage. Well, if the US has a higher gold price than the rest of the world, it's going to do something similar.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
so, do you also think that are they really clever enough, or are they? Do they have that much foresight? Maybe that they're doing this tariff on Switzerland, and it seems like it's an attack on Switzerland, but it could you could argue that it's an attack on the London bullion market because Trump wants the bullion market in dollars to be run out of the U.S.
I think the nomination of Miran to join the Fed this week is a signpost. I mean, it tells you a lot.
Yeah,
This guy, the
can I
yeah,
just interrupt you? Yeah,
yeah,
that came out yesterday as well.
yeah.
Big Stephen Mirren, he's gonna take the temporary post that this Fed governor she resigned, I think, last week, and this post expires at the end of January next year, but I think he'll probably stay on anyway. And yeah, so Stephen Mirren has some very radical views, and he's the guy, Eric, who's proposed this currency realignment and the Mar-a-Lago Accord.
Correct. So I think if you read some of the stuff this guy wrote, um, it's completely possible that this gold revaluation situation actually happens. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but um, it looks like every step of the way, everything is pointing to that direction, right? So it might happen, it might not happen. If it doesn't happen, if the US Treasury doesn't revalue physical gold, the market and the rest of the world will do it anyway, right? I mean, like not for the US Treasury, but the gold price will be higher incrementally over time. So yeah, Mario,
Yeah, the
I
other
think
thing,
we
Eric,
yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Stephen Mirren, I was reading, he also wants a much weaker dollar. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be eventually the Fed chairman, but he's going to be on the board there till January, end of January. But they could try to keep him on the board and then nominate him as chairman as well.
So I'm going to read something that Mirren said. Mirren discussed the Gold Reserve Act, saying the Gold Reserve Act authorizes the Secretary of the Treasury to sell gold. Proceeds must be used to reduce the national debt. There you have it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
doesn't look like I mean you know the revelation is out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
Okay, there you
yeah,
have it.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
other thing is, you probably saw it on August 1st. I think the Federal Reserve Board published an article by one of their economists actually talking about gold revaluation. in the process, and it gave examples of countries like Germany and Italy who've done it recently. It wasn't very didn't give too many clues, but just the fact that they're talking about it, Eric, it sounds like you and I have been talking about this kind of stuff for years, and we've been called crazy and conspiracy theorists. But now even the Fed's talking about it.
Yeah, so that, like, Mario, you're right. That's another signpost, right? It's not just Eric Young, Mario talking about physical gold revaluation. It's the Fed, the Federal Reserve, came out with a paper saying that, well, discussing it. Um, so I again, I don't want to, I can beat this horse to death. I can say it a million times, but I guess at this point, we shall just wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and
Yep.
just one final question. How do you think the miners, gold and silver miners, are going to react? And also in silver, Eric, do you think the gold shorts on the Comex might go long silver as a way of kind of mitigating their losses?
Mario, that's a very big possibility. Number one, what you're saying, like, long silver to mitigate the loss on the, gold EFPs if they have to cash settle. And the second thing is miners. I think miners are going to do well, simply because, fundamentally, the entire world is basically accumulating gold and silver, number one. Number two is, I want to stress that, and others have said this in the past, but it's coming into fruition at this point, right? It's conversion to where we're at right now, which is domestic US gold miners are going to do really well, I think. Because you cut through all the problems that we discussed today, right? If you produce the gold domestically, you refine the gold domestically, you don't have any issues. You don't have any tariff risks down the road.
Good point. Good point.
So
Yeah.
that's my take on miners.
Okay, great, Eric. I think things are gonna, well, they're already quite volatile and changing all the time. We're gonna keep an eye on it, and I'd like to thank you for coming on short notice, and I wish you a great weekend.
You too, Mario. Thank you.